What is up, my friends? Welcome to this week's episode of the Six Figure Product Business Podcast. Today is a fun episode because I think this is the first time I've ever done this. I may have done this before with like one question, but it is an Ask Me Anything. And I basically chose one person who is super supportive of the podcast, always sending me messages, letting me know how much she enjoys the podcast, how much it helps her, just like a supportive person that, I've gotten to know. And when I thought of doing this episode, she was the first person I reached out to and said, "Hey, I want to do an Ask Me Anything where you can ask me any questions you want to. Are you interested?" So, anyway, here we go. We have a couple awesome questions from Carrie Reimers, who is the owner of Carrie Design, Sarcasm and Sass Gifts That Kick Ass. And I'm going to pull up her Instagram quickly so I can put in her Instagram and her website in the notes, but also just give her a little shout out. So her Instagram is Sweary Carrie. So Sweary, SwearyCarrie Designs. And that's her URL. All right, so let's dive into this episode. This is an Ask Me Anything, and I have about 6 or 7 different questions, completely all non-related, and I just got them from her and I'm recording right now, so I'm not really prepping anything. It's just off the cuff answers as if someone messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hey, I have a question for you." This is how I would respond to it. So let's dive into it. We have some really good ones, and I'm going to start with, I think, my favorite question because I don't think that I have ever gotten asked this question, even though I had a subscription box business. One of my businesses was a subscription box. And I actually was thinking, I don't think anyone has ever asked me this question before. And it's a great question. So Carrie's question number one is, how do we go about getting our products featured in other people's subscription boxes? Such a good question. Literally, no one has ever asked me that before. Okay, and this is a great question for me because I had a subscription box and I basically firsthand was in like, what's the word? I was like in the moment every day of people reaching out to me to get their products in my subscription box. And there's so many things that people did wrong when they would reach out. And I want to kind of address all those. So let's dive into this question. Amazing question. How do we go about getting our products in other people's subscription boxes? So this question is great for anyone here who has a product that you have a lot of quantity of. So it might be a t-shirt, a candle, a mug, pretty much anything. This would not work well for if you are like a gifting company or you do only personalized things. So I just want to kind of get that out of the way because you might be thinking, "Oh my gosh, I should do personalized things." And that could work, but for the most part, this is going to be great for someone who has quite a bit of inventory, preferably something that's small and light and easy to ship. Because remember, it has to go into a box, and most subscription boxes aren't going to be super big. They're going to be probably the size of if you go into Nordstrom Rack or a shop that sells shoes, it's probably going to be fitting into one of those size boxes. Of course, there can be a variety here. So let's dive into it. So the first thing I want to preface before I answer the question is when you are thinking about getting your product in other people's subscription boxes, I want you to think of one thing, and I want you to think of one thing only: free marketing. So I shouldn't say free because it's not really free. This is a marketing strategy for you. It's not necessarily about you making sales from the subscription box, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to give people free product, but the benefit of you getting your product in someone's subscription box is a pure marketing initiative. So I want to preface your mindset before I give you a response because you're not going to like my response. So you want to think of this as a marketing thing. Your job to get your product in a subscription box is to get your product in front of a bunch of other people's audiences. They have a built-in audience, they have built-in subscribers, and then they're about to get your product. Okay, yeah. So I just want to preface that before I answer the question. The second part of this question that I want to really dive into is when you are wanting to get into subscription boxes, you want to think of this again. It is a marketing initiative. It is not a sales initiative. I don't want you to think that you're going to make a ton of money from this. And when I say not make a lot of money, I mean from the actual subscription box. There's ways to make money after. There's things that you can do that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to tell you my experience of having a subscription box and how I would go about getting products in the boxes. And when people reached out to me, what were the red flags that made me say, oh no, this isn't a good fit? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, getting your product into a subscription box is 100% a marketing initiative. It is only to get your product in front of new people. Visibility is king. This whole podcast, I ramble on about marketing constantly. You always need to be getting your product into other people's audiences and things like that. So when it comes to getting into a subscription box, now that you know that this is just a marketing thing, I'm probably not going to make money up front. Of course, you can make money over time, but money up front, you have to know that. Really, really important. So the first thing to get into subscription boxes is there's multiple ways. One, reach out to subscription boxes. Number two, attend trade shows and things like that. And then number three, I guess there could be other ways, but the easiest way is just reaching out to a subscription box, or like going to trade shows and things like that. Because if you go, let's say you are in the pet space and you have a pet subscription box, or you have a pet product and you're like, I would love to be in a subscription box. Well, if you go to a trade show, a lot of times those big brands are there and you can give them your card, you can give them a product, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so the first thing first is reaching out to subscription boxes. Find subscription boxes that would fit into your niche and then just reach out. And so before you reach out and, you say, hi, I would love to be in your subscription box. We don't really do wholesale. So, we would charge you full price and you'd have to pay for shipping. Things like that are the red flags that I was talking about earlier. I would get people reaching out to me all the time and, they would say, oh, we have this great product. We'd love to be in your subscription box, da, da, da. And then we'd go back and forth and they would say, okay, my wholesale price is, and the standard wholesale price is going to be about 50%. So if you charge $10 for a t-shirt, which that's too low, by the way, but let's say you sell t-shirts for $10, you would sell the t-shirt to the subscription box for $5. However, that's not going to work. You have to go lower. You're going to have to meet them where they want you to meet them if you want to be in their subscription boxes. A lot of times subscription boxes margins are tight, and offering a 50% off discount isn't good enough. So depending on your margins, you might lose a ton of money from getting into a subscription box. And that's your decision to make. I wouldn't advise losing a ton of money, but your profit margin should be enough where you're giving additional discounts and maybe you are losing a little bit of money, but you're paying to be in front of other people's audiences. So it's kind of like this is actually an episode where I should create an entire episode on this because it's a really good one. And I think it's really important for brands to understand when you are reaching out to a subscription box and you're trying to sort of set up a deal, if you're not making it easy for them, they're not going to work with you. They're going to find someone else and they're going to go with all their vendors who do give the discounts that they need. So the first off is this is a marketing acquisition cost for you. So if you do, let's say, for example, you give people the product at like 70% off, if you can afford that. Maybe it costs you a little bit of money to send this brand 200 of your product or 300 of your product. You have to decide for yourself, is it worth it? Is my product a great fit for their audience? And so that after they get this product in the subscription box, they see my brand, the product, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, cute, interesting, exciting, etc. Insert the adjective that works for your brand. And then they're going to go follow you on Instagram, or they're going to go see, oh, is this person on TikTok or something? And then now they're following you on your platform where you control the cards, you know? So I really want you, as I'm responding here, and I feel like I'm being a little bit vague because it's a hard question. And, I've worked with clients in the past where they've wanted to be in subscription boxes, and the subscription box wanted 100% free product. And this person's product was like $10 each for this person to make, and they wanted like 500. So it would have cost them many thousands of dollars to get their product in a subscription box. And this brand was very small, not making consistent sales. And so I told her, absolutely don't do it. It's not a good fit right now. If you are going to be losing a lot of money on this, you have to be in a place where you're going to make up that sales the following month or something. So it's not a yes or no question for this. It's kind of like it can be gray. So basically, as long as you understand this is a marketing acquisition cost for you, if you have to spend a little bit of money, if you have to lose a little bit of money to get your product in a really awesome subscription box, that their audience is a great fit for you, that you think that with your packaging and the product and the brand visibility and all that, that they would maybe follow you on social media after, then it could be a really good fit. And so when it came to my subscription box, people would reach out to me all the time, all the time. And in the end, the margins that I was making, I constantly was always trying to increase my profit margin, all that constantly as I had the business for the 3 years. And so by the end, to be honest with you, the people that would be in my subscription boxes were always the people who worked with me on pricing. So I worked with bigger brands who had better discounts to offer, and they would offer, not only wholesale pricing, but distributor pricing, which is basically wholesale with way more discounts. So maybe you get a product for 70% off. And then I would work with them to get free shipping. Like, how do I get free shipping from you? I'll order one item for this box, and I'll order a second item from you for like, say I was ordering for my August box. I would order double inventory where I could put another product in my September or October box. So I was ordering a lot of stuff from them, in which case they would give me free shipping. So again, the subscription box, from your perspective, assume their margins are really, really tight, and you need to work with them if you want to be in their subscription box, which means very high discounted rate, way more than wholesale. Some subscription boxes, they might work with you with the wholesale price, but I'm going to say right now, I doubt it. And that's just how it is. Subscription boxes are giving people a bunch of product and charging little money and probably charging free shipping. So if you want to be in there, you have to think, is this going to be a good visibility strategy for me? Does my packaging label or a product label? So say you sell stickers or say you sell keychains, and you're going to put a keychain in a subscription box. Make sure your branding is on that. Make sure there's a tag on that keychain that shows your website, your social media, things like that. If you just give people a product and there's no branding, there's no brand name, then it's a waste of your damn time to give the subscription box that product. So that's my response. You have to just literally reach out to people. Hey, Susan, your subscription box is so fun. I love it. My best friend has a subscription from you, and she just raves about it. I think I'd be a great fit for one of your subscription boxes. Here is my link to the box. In particular, I have these really fun. I know Carrie has. I don't know if it's a keychain or it's a sticker. It's a Golden Girl. I want to say it's a magnet actually. She has a Golden Girls magnet. I have a Golden Girls magnet that I think would be an awesome fit for one of your subscription boxes. Here's the product. Hyperlink it. Do not insert images in an email because people won't open the email. I also have a bunch of other products, and I'm happy to be flexible with, wholesale plus or distributor pricing for you. Here's my contact information. Here's my TikTok or social media. Da 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 da. Thank you so much. And then if they don't respond to you, just keep forwarding the email to them over and over and over again. Sometimes it takes me 5 or 6 times of someone emailing me before I actually respond. So don't feel like if someone doesn't respond to you right away that they're not interested. They're probably just busy like everyone else. So that is my response to you. And yeah, getting in subscription boxes is a great fit. I also want to mention one more thing when it comes to that, because this is something that I did as the subscription box owner to try to get better discounts. So if you're listening and you're like, I would love my product to be in a subscription box, don't discount what I'm about to tell you, because this could be the thing that helps you get, not get you in, but like make it worthwhile for you. So what I would do is I would reach out to people and I would say, this was when I was early on in my business, when people weren't reaching out to me for product. I would reach out to them and I'd say, I love, I have a subscription box. Here's a link. Da 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 da. We have amazing reviews. We have loyal customers. Um, I'm looking. I would love to add your dog treats, stickers, mugs, whatever, into my subscription box. I'm looking for minimum wholesale rates, but preferably higher than that, distributor pricing, and free shipping, in exchange for the heavy discounts that you can offer me. I can market your product, or I can feature your product more during that month that you're in the subscription box. So, for example, I could tag you on, I could do shout outs to you on social media. I could do featured posts on Instagram. I could do a TikTok unboxing of your product. I could do an email newsletter or email promotion where after the subscription box is over, we promote your product, but we push people to your website. So you can get creative here. And if you are willing to give people better discounts on the subscription box, you can ask them, like, be aggressive. You have to be aggressive. Say, hey, I'm willing to like give you a 70% discount off the product, but are you willing to do this marketing strategy with me? And again, you know how I feel about email marketing. So if it's going to be social media versus email, I would choose email, unless they're going to do a really fun, not unboxing, but like kind of like an unboxing style video where they talk about your product. Say it's a Golden Girls magnet. They talk about like why it's such a fun product and how it's a great gift for friends and family. And, it's made in the USA and it's by this brand and we love this brand because X, Y, and Z. Or it could be an email promotion where after the subscription box ends, they send out 1 to 2 emails. So again, be aggressive, choose whatever is beneficial for you. 1 to 2 emails that go out that promote your product, and not back to their website, back to your website. So, featured product of the month we want to promote to you. Sweary Carrie's Golden Girls magnet. You need this product because X, Y, and Z. Da, 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 da. I'm just giving you an example that you could sort of pitch to them. And then they push people to your website. So I would say if you're going to do subscription boxes, know that you're not going to make money off this upfront. You're going to probably lose money. And 2, it's a marketing and visibility strategy. And then 3, if they do want heavy discounts, negotiate. It's all about leverage. What do you get? What do they get? They want low cost from you. You want visibility and marketing from them. Easy, no brainer. Okay, the next question is, and this is sort of a big question, so I'm gonna possibly put this at the end because this could be an entire episode. So let's just go to the next question. So she asked, when it comes to SEO, how do we know that it's working? So this is kind of a big question, and I want to be specific here, but I also want you to understand that I can't go too deep here because it's just a short podcast episode. I say short, like this is going to be a short one. We all know it's not. So I think there's a few ways that you can know if SEO is working. So the best advice I can give you is sign up with an SEO tool. So ubersuggest.com is my #1 favorite. I'll make sure I link it in the show notes here. It is a Neil Patel tool, and he is a freaking genius. He's like the king of SEO. Sign up with an SEO tool. It's really hard to know if SEO is working if you don't have a tool to track it. However, to be honest with you, if you want the free version here, I love my free and scrappy tips. Google one of your keywords. So again, I'm going to keep using the same example because I just like the product. You sell a Golden Girl magnet. Go to Google and type in Golden Girl magnet. And if you see your name somewhere on page 1, then your SEO is working. But if we want more data and more specifics, Sign up with ubersuggest.com. They have a free trial. I want to say it's free for 7 days or 14 days, maybe. I don't know. You can figure it out. And go in there, and there's a few things that you can do here. One is you can do what is it called? It's a site audit. And that's going to give you like a rundown of your entire website, all the things that are wrong when it comes to SEO. And you want to kind of get started on fixing that. The second thing that you can do is they have all sorts of things, and I don't have this tool in front of me, so I'm sort of just going based on memory, but you can plug in your website somewhere. I think it's like rank tracking or something like that, or maybe it's just in the dashboard. And you can plug in your website and it will tell you the words that you're ranking for. So you can look at, okay, wow, I'm ranking, I'm Golden Girl Magnet has 20,000 searches per month and I'm ranked number 20 on it. Wow, that's great. So then what you can do is you can kind of look you once this is like a great thing that I would spend money on too. If you are serious about SEO, spend the 30 bucks a month on this tool. It's incredible. I use Uber Suggest for the amount of things I use Uber Suggest for that have nothing to do with SEO. It's kind of mind blowing. It's such a versatile tool. So you can plug in your website and it will tell you the keywords you're ranking for. And then it will tell you when you've moved up, like you've gone up 3 spots. So now you're not ranked 20 for Golden Girl Magnet, you're ranked 17. And it'll also give you email alerts too. So you kind of have to choose which things that you want to be alerted on. But if you have an SEO tool such as Uber Suggest, you can literally see right there what you're ranking for and what you're not, and then when you improve on the keywords. And that's how you know SEO is working. SEO is all about, I mean, it literally stands for search engine optimization. Someone goes to Google, they type in Golden Girl Magnet, and you are on page 20. I'm sorry, you're ranked number 20. But then because you are creating blog content, because you are doing your on-page SEO, which is a whole other podcast episode, you start to rank higher for Golden Girls Magnet. And now instead of being ranked 20, you start to creep up to like number 7 and number 6. So you want to be on page 1. Page 1 is the sweet spot. Page 1, the farther out you are, your chances of people clicking on your link drastically dwindle down. So if you're listening and you want some SEO help, I'm going to give you 2 places to start here. One is I have a membership program called E-commerce Society. It is a monthly membership and you can get access to live Q&A calls, monthly masterclass trainings. We have curriculum each quarter that we focus on one thing. Right now it's holiday Q4 stuff. But I also have a bunch of built-in courses, and one of the courses I have in there is on SEO. And so I go through all the SEO stuff, how to do on-page SEO, how to do keyword research, blah, blah, blah. It's an awesome membership program, and if you're interested, you can sign up there. It's E-commerce Society, and if you go to my website or my Instagram, you'll find it there. But the other resource I have are my friends Duo Collective. So Duo Collective, DUO Collective on Instagram, or you can go to their website. They literally focus on SEO. So they are part branding and websites, part SEO. And Abby is my girl, and she is the SEO ninja. And they have, courses. They have SEO group coaching for actually their coaching program is for copywriters. But anyway, they have some great resources either way, so you can check out what they have. Otherwise, I have my membership program and we have an entire course on SEO, and it's a really good one. I really simplified it and made it easy to digest because SEO can be really complicated. So that really is the easiest way to know if it's working or not, is you have to have an SEO tool where you can look at the data and see, okay, I'm actually moving up in the ranking. But SEO is not going to work for you unless you do all the on-page SEO stuff on your website. Okay, the next question is digital products. She asked, I kind of wrote her question weird here, so I forget what the exact question was. I'm sorry. She wrote like, if I want to sell, oh, okay. She said she was thinking about selling digital products. So her question is what platform to sell on, what are some tips for marketing, is there demand, and how to create product photos. Okay, so when it comes to digital products, I am not some digital product expert. I mean, I do have a lot of digital things. I consider digital products different than like online courses or things like that. I consider a digital product like you sell an Etsy checklist that helps you understand if your SEO is optimized or something, or you sell an ebook, how to start a subscription box business in 10 steps. So I consider those digital products where people buy them, they download a product like a PDF or something, or a checklist or a Google Doc, and then you make money and they get whatever the hell they bought from you. So I do sell digital products on Etsy. I've had an Etsy shop for, I don't know, it must be like 3 years now, 2.5 years. I started it quite a while ago, and I started off with one product, which was an ebook on how to start a subscription box. And that is my number one best digital product that I sell. I sell, I don't know, I guess a couple per month, or depending on if I'm doing ads, I'll sell more. I don't really take it seriously. To be honest with you, it's just something that I dabble in, and I dabble in Etsy just so I can learn the platform. But digital products are not what I focus on, although I love digital products and I really like Etsy. So it's really a win-win, to be honest with you. So platforms to sell on, your own website, Etsy, um, what's the other one that I always buy stuff from that I always forget what the hell it is called? If I remember it, I'll come back to it. I forget what it's called though, but it's basically if you Google website templates or Canva graphics for coaches, it'll probably be the first thing that will pop up. Actually, let me just Google it really quick instead of just telling you how to Google something, let me just Google it. So Canva templates for social media. I guarantee you it's going to be the first thing that'll pop up. And it's not. So Etsy is the first thing, then Canva. Creative Market. That's it. Okay. Creative Market is what I was thinking of. So Creative Market is another place where you can sell digital products, and it kind of depends what kind of product you're selling, but I would say those three are the easiest places to start. Are there other places to sell digital products on? Absolutely. Do I know what they are? Absolutely not. Digital products are not what I focus on, so I'm not really sure. If I ever go into that realm a little bit more, then and I do want to do more digital products. I have some ideas for a couple of things, but anyway, tips for marketing, exactly the same that you would market your product business. So I'm not going to really go into that because my entire podcast is sort of about marketing in general. So, SEO, getting on people's podcasts, all the things I talk about, email marketing, same way that you would sell digital products. Is there demand? Absolutely. Digital products, in my opinion, the ones that work well, they help people with a specific problem that they want help with. So, for example, you're looking for SEO help. You want to know, how do I track my keywords? You go to Etsy and you search for SEO keyword tracker. And if you actually type that into Etsy, you're going to come up with like a bazillion products for, that people are selling. Or for me, again, how to start a subscription box. I sell an ebook. So when people type into Google how to start a subscription box, my ebook on Etsy actually, I believe, is one of the first, not one of the first things that pops up, but it's it's pretty far up at the top. I always am just searching my own stuff. So ebooks, checklists, templates, those are really good things to sell as digital products. How to create product photos for those. So to be honest, they are very different than a physical product, although the concept is sort of similar. The easiest thing to do is buy a photo mock-up on like Etsy or Creative Market. So if you're selling an ebook, go to Etsy and search for ebook mock-up, and you'll find a bazillion of them. And then you basically just take like a screenshot of your, if it's a PDF that you're selling, you would take a screenshot of the PDF or some images in there, and then you put those on the mock-up, and then they look beautiful. So that's the easy tip for that. Okay, so we've covered how to get your products in subscription boxes. How do we know SEO is working? Digital products, is it worth it? Tips for marketing, platforms to sell on, product photos. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is, Let's see. She asked about social media schedulers. So, do you recommend social media schedulers, like what platforms, etc.? This is sort of a quick response for me. I think yes. I don't personally use a social media scheduler because on Instagram you can schedule your stuff in there. I used to use a social media scheduler when I had someone. I do have someone that helps me with Instagram, but I can't. I was using Planoly, and it works really well. I ended up canceling it for some reason, and to be honest with you, I think I canceled it because I stopped having that person do my social media for me because it just wasn't it like wasn't working. The person who does my social media or helps me with social media now, she mainly does podcast clips for me. And so she can just go in, log in under my account, upload the video, put in the caption, and schedule it. So we don't really need a scheduler, but if you want someone else to do your social media for you and you want to be able to look at what the grid is, look at the caption, then I think social media schedulers are awesome. I use Planoly. I know there's also Plan, Plann. I didn't love that one, but to be honest, I think the reason I didn't like it was because I just didn't give it enough time. I'll be honest with you. And then Tailwind. So Tailwind, for anyone here who likes Pinterest or wants to double down on Pinterest, Tailwind is actually a Pinterest scheduling tool, and you can also schedule your Instagram on Tailwind as well. So if you are using Tailwind or you're wanting to make Pinterest a better priority, then look at Tailwind. It's really, really good. I love Tailwind. Okay. So, but like our social media schedule is necessary. I mean, I don't really think so. If you're wanting to have one post that's spread out everywhere, I know there are tools that do that. I have no idea what they are because I never use those. I'm a little bit wary of things that you create for one platform and then get spread out everywhere because every platform is different and you always want native content for that platform. So what I would post on Instagram would be different than Facebook, and what I would post on Instagram would be different than Pinterest. They're not the same thing, and so you want to be careful of those kind of schedulers. Okay. Growing a handmade business. Like how do you tips for growing a handmade business? What are some actionable steps that we could take today? So for this question, and I did have a podcast episode a few months ago with Lauren Kiplinger, and it was basically on how to scale an Etsy handmade business. Go and listen to that episode for anyone else listening here. I will find it in I will link it in the show notes. But that was an awesome episode because she sells children's blankets and she personalizes the kids' blanket. So this isn't like she creates one blanket and she orders them from China and she gets 7 million of them and then she sells them. She actually personalizes. She puts people's names on the blankets and she talks about tips to grow a handmade business. It was one of my most popular episodes, actually. It's a really good one. But I would say for you today, if you're wanting to grow a handmade business, you have to be aware, one, how much inventory are you selling? If you sell 1 million products, it's going to be harder to grow a handmade business because you're not manufacturing a product. You're not ordering waterproof phone pouches from China. I don't know why I'm saying China, but whatever. You are actually making the product. So, for example, someone in my Cultish product program, beautiful designs. Tina, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at her cup that I have in front of me, and it's basically a really fun, like a coffee or beer or soda type cup with a wooden lid and a straw. And she prints, and I don't know how she prints it, but she has probably some kind of a machine that will print it. But she has like a really fun design on the outside of the cup that is Halloween and it's like hocus pocus themed. And so I bought that from her and I love it. But she's not like mass producing those, she's hand making them. So if you are hand making products, I want you to think, do I have too much inventory? Because if someone orders 20 different products from you every single week, that's 20 different things that you have to stop and start making. And the more that you have to add something in that you have to start making or stop making and then switch to something else, you are wasting a boatload of time. So if you have products, be wary of your inventory. How much are you selling? What are people buying? The second thing, look at your bestsellers. If you have bestsellers and you're creating, like, again, the holiday themed things or Halloween themed things or something like that, create more upfront, knowing that you're probably going to sell them over the next few months, and you're batching your time, you're batching orders, you're not creating one-off things. The more that you have to do one-off things, the more you are wasting so much time. And then the third tip I would give you is outsourcing. How can you get some help? How do you find the stay-at-home mom in your neighborhood who would love to help you? Or that teenager who is like looking for an internship. I'm doing internship in air quotes, but someone in your neighborhood who is trustworthy that could come to your house, or that you could train them and give them, better yet, give them the product. They can do it at their house and they can just drop it off to you. Outsourcing is going to save you a ton of time so you can focus on marketing your business, marketing your products, because marketing is the secret sauce to growing your business, not making your product. So I would say those tips are what I would probably leave you with, how to grow a handmade business. You have to be aware of how much time you're spending on making the product, and then batching. Batch is going to be your best friend. And then everything else when it comes to your e-commerce or your, product business, etc. I always recommend batching everything. If you're going to create one email for 1 week, create emails for the other 2 or 3 weeks of the month, that kind of thing. Okay. And then the last question, I'm going to try to get to the other question she asked. That's kind of a big one, but the last question she asked is 3 tips for new business owners that I wish that I had done when I first started. So as I was reading her questions out, I didn't plan responses. I like to just give you responses off the top of my head, unless it's something that I have to do a little bit of research on. So for this, okay. And I just did an Instagram or a TikTok video that I basically said, here are 4 things that I would have done differently the first time. And of course, I forget what I even said, because that's just how my brain works in these little stages of, like, I say so much of what I say or do is like in the moment. And then if you ask me 5 minutes later, I'm like, I forget what I said. It'll come back to me, but that's just kind of how I am. So I think if I was starting over, if I was starting a new product-based business, 3 things that I wish I would have done differently, or I wish that I had taken someone's advice and not made mistakes. So let me think. So the first one is going to be, let's see. I feel like I'm coming up with a lot of things in my head, so I'm just kind of thinking out loud. So I think the first thing that I would say, so if you're a new business owner or you're starting a new business, like, choose one hero product, or choose a hero product that maybe you can add some variation to. So if you are selling stickers, or you're selling cups or magnets or t-shirts or handbags, less is more. And this is a really, really important thing. The more you are offering to your audience, the more products that don't relate to each other that you are offering, you're actually screwing yourself. So if you're a new business, you don't have a big audience, you don't have a ton of sales right now, less is more. So if I was starting a new business, and in fact, I was thinking about this morning. I went paddleboarding this morning in my town, and it was absolutely glorious. And I sat there on my paddleboard thinking, the next product-based business that I start is probably going to be offering a product within the paddleboarding accessory niche. Okay. I love paddleboarding. I always think, choose a product that relates to a hobby, because you'll never have a hard time selling it. People will always buy things that are related to hobbies. So I was thinking that if I start another product-based business, I'm probably going to be selling waterproof phone pouches marketed to paddleboarders, not waterproof phone pouches like marketed to everything. Going to the Caribbean, going on your cruise, going to the beach. It is a product specifically for paddleboarders. Every bit of my marketing, my product photos, my lifestyle photos, my website will be paddleboarding, adventure. Don't get your fucking phone wet. And the other products that I really want to sell is a little, I don't know, I don't actually know the words of what they're called, but some kind of like little cooler pack where you could put drinks in and snacks and that kind of thing, with some with an ice pack or some ice cubes or whatever. And then it's a cute little pouch, and then you put it on your paddleboard. So on paddleboards, on the front of every paddleboard, there's going to be these like elastic bands that hold things in. So you can put a backpack, your water bottles, things like that. So I really want to sell beautifully fun, colorful, possibly little like coolers for paddleboarders. So do you notice here how when I'm telling you this, I am not saying I want to sell water cooler bags for people going to the beach or people going on a cruise or people like going on their boat. It is specific to paddleboarders. When you are specific, when you are targeting one person, choose a product that you want to sell and it's easier for you to market to that person. So when a paddleboarder comes across my website and they see someone standing on a paddleboard with the pouch sitting on the paddleboard and the phone pouch on their neck, they're going to be like, "Oh, wait, that's me. I need that." You know what I mean? So, I guess I'm sort of going in a bit of a tangent here because the first thing that I mentioned was to grow, I'm sorry, 3 tips for new business owners I wish I had taken. The first tip is less is more when it comes to product. Find your hero product and double down on that. So again, if you are, I know for Carrie here, she's selling stickers, I think mugs and, magnets and a lot of other things. I would, if I were you, I would be looking at what is the product that I'm selling the most of? Like, who are my audience? Who do I like to market to? Like, who do I want my ideal customer to be? You could literally, and I know she likes Harry Potter stuff, and I forget how I know that, but somehow I know that. Maybe she posted something on her Instagram or something. If you are someone who loves like Harry Potter, and again, I'm not going to dive into like copyright infringement or any of that kind of jazz, but for example, you love Harry Potter. Most people in the world are obsessed with Harry Potter. I'm actually not, but a lot of people in the world are obsessed with Harry Potter. And if you sell like Harry Potter things, again, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of like what you can talk about or promote or sell if it's like a movie or a character. You can figure that out for yourself. But my point here is that when you have an audience that like one thing, you can sell products within that one niche and do way better for your business than if you're creating random products for random people like constantly. So again, I'm sort of giving you 2 tips in one. Less is more. Find one hero product or one niche of people to sell to and just sell a couple things. Once you grow, once you make money, then you can expand to more things. So for example, if I was starting a business focused around like a paddleboard accessory, I would start off with one thing. So to be honest, I'd probably start, for me, if I was going to start the business, it's probably going to be the cooler because the waterproof foam pouch, one, there's so many out there that people already sell. And two, I don't want to drop ship it. I want it to be a brand that I control the shipping and all that. So I'd probably want to figure out what is the pain point or problem of current waterproof phone pouches, talk to people, do market research on my own, test different products, and figure out what's missing from the current waterproof phone pouches today, and then actually create a product that fits in that basically solves that pain point that isn't existing right now. That's probably what I would do for that. So when it comes to the coolers, that's more about the brand, like the vibe, the brand, the colors. Like, I almost think of the next brand I start will be very colorful and fun and vibrant, almost like Maddle paddleboards meets Poppy prebiotic soda meets I'm trying to think of who else I would basically work in there. Just like fancy sprinkles. I love fancy sprinkles. Oh my God, they're amazing. So I would want it to be this like really fun vibe. So when someone who is a paddleboarder appreciates that fun, vibey aesthetic, they would then buy my cooler. So I'm not solving a pain point necessarily. It's more of like the vibe, kind of like Maddle paddle boards. They they're not doing anything different. Sometimes with product, it's just about the vibe of your product and your brand aesthetic and who you're going to attract. So if I'm looking at a boring paddleboard and then I'm looking at Maddle paddleboard, their stuff is bright, it's vibrant, it's colorful, it's like perfection. Their branding is perfection. Their packaging is perfection. So someone like me who cares about that stuff is going to go with them versus the boring paddleboard from like an Amazon or something. So your product doesn't always have to solve a pain point. If it does, that's better. But sometimes it's just about like the aesthetic. So anyway, the second tip I would say, I feel like I really rambled on that one. The second tip I would say is make sure you are pricing your products for profit. This is a mistake I see so many people making. You're like, well, Susan sells her stickers for $2, so I can only sell my stickers for $2. Sell what you have for whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure you have a great value proposition, you have great product images, you have great social proof on your website, you're getting UGC of people using your stickers or that kind of thing. But you can price your stuff whatever you want, but make sure you are making a profit. Make sure it's worth it. This is not a hobby. I don't want you to be selling stickers, magnets, keychains, t-shirts if you're not making a profit on them. So profit, 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 okay? And then number three is um, let's see. I'm gonna go with something that this probably isn't what you would expect, but actually no, I'm changing my mind. Okay, number three. So three tips for new business owners I wish I had taken. Start. Okay, I'm gonna give you four tips. Start SEO from day one. Day one. So if you are selling Harry Potter stickers, Harry Potter magnets, Harry Potter t-shirts, Harry Potter water bottles, products for Harry Potter people, make sure those keywords are blasted all over your website. When you upload images to your website on your product pages, make sure they're titled correctly. So products for the best gifts for Harry Potter people, the best gifts for Harry Potter fanatics, and then put your brand name, .jpg. So title your images, upload your images on, let's say Shopify, for example, put alt text on every image. Alt text is just basically for people that can't, I think that's like the definition of alt text is like for people that with visibility, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. I'm really sorry. People that basically can't read what is on the image. So you tell them what the image is. It's a golden doodle wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt, you know? For alt text, I like to use whatever I put in the image title to keep it super simple. So you can put like person wearing Harry Potter t-shirt, and then you could put something like the best gifts for Harry Potter people, and then the brand name. So that's kind of what I do for alt text. And then on your, if you're using Shopify, this is the best advice I can ever give you. And I'm going to like explain it a little bit because I know this can be confusing. Again, I have an entire course within my e-commerce society program that teaches you what I'm going to tell you. SEO is so freaking important. Okay. Um, on Shopify in your product page, you go all the way to the bottom of the page, and there's a little section called search engine. I believe it's called search engine listing, where you put a title of your product and you put a meta description, and underneath that is your URL. So, three things there. You want to make sure all three of those things have like a keyword or a descriptor of what you're selling. So, again, if you're selling Harry Potter, um, let's say you're selling, what's the creepy guy? Voldemort? No. Slithering? No, that's the house. I don't know. Voldemort is just coming to my brain. I think that's the creepy guy with the dark hair. So let's say you're selling Voldemort stickers. I literally give you like the stupidest examples. I'm sorry. So in your title of that product description, I'm sorry, in the title of that product page at the very bottom, not the title of the top, go all the way to the bottom of the page, search engine listing, you would put Voldemort sticker dash, maybe something like Harry Potter gifts or gifts for Harry Potter lovers or something like that, dash your brand name. So in this case, Sweary Carrie Design. Then your meta description is basically what this is. The first two lines, I think it's like the first 1 to 2 lines of your meta description are what show up on the search engine listing preview. So when you go to Google, you type in Voldemort sticker, Harry Potter, and then you're gonna get a bunch of listings that show up. The first two lines under that main title are gonna be your meta description. You want that to be sort of an interesting little like thing. So when someone reads it, they're like, "Ooh, I need to click on that," and then they click on it. So your meta description, if you don't add anything in there, it's going to pull from your product description. Two very different things here, people. Again, if you want to know more, you can sign up for my e-commerce society. I have an entire SEO mini course that you can go through in one day, and it's awesome. So you can sign up for that. Um, And yes, I'm not ashamed to plug my own stuff because my stuff is good. Okay. So you would put like 1 to 2 lines that's where people would see the listing. And so something like our Voldemort stickers are the perfect gift for all your Harry Potter obsessed crazy friends. Sweary Carrie Designs creates handmade stickers and magnets, all for the Harry Potter lover in your life. Handmade in Minnesota, Massachusetts, New Jersey. I like to put the state. I don't know why, but I just do. And then the URL should say what your product is. Like it should say swearycarrydesigns.com. I think maybe /product/ Voldemort Harry Potter sticker.com. Got it? It doesn't have to be the same as the product name. It should be the descriptive thing of what you sell. So if you sell dog leashes, you can put something like personalized Harry Potter dog leashes.com. So those would be 3 tips I would say. SEO from day one. The first tip is when it comes to what you're selling and what you're focusing on, like less is more. Focus on a couple products, make them your hero products, market those 3 products exclusively, get UGC, get product images, get awesome lifestyle images, perfect your descriptions. And then once you sell those, you can move on to other things. And then the second tip that I gave you, I already forget what it is. This is what I'm telling you. I sometimes say things and I'm so in the moment that when I go to reflect on it like 2 minutes later, I actually forget what I said. So, um, those are my 3 things. SEO is so important because the reason SEO is important is because SEO helps you show up on the search engine. And my whole philosophy with marketing a product based business is do the things that help you show up on a search engine. And SEO is one of them. Blogging is another one. YouTube is another one. So, that's it for today, this episode. So the last question that Carrie asked was about starting a subscription box. I actually think I can create a different episode for this because this is a really big question. And I actually get this quite a bit. And so I think maybe it's time to do a refresher on if I want to start a subscription box, what are all the things you recommend? I have an entire course on starting a subscription box. It's called Subscription Box Launch Academy. I actually don't promote that course anymore. It exists, people still buy it. I have one video on YouTube that has like 40,000 views, and the video is how to start a subscription box in 10 steps. So people find that and then they, learn from that. But I'm happy to do a new episode about that. So let's dive into it. But anyway, thank you, Carrie, for your amazing questions. This was so fun. And honestly, I think I'm going to start building more of these episodes in. Maybe like once a month we can do an Ask Me Anything because I think one, I get people message me, especially on Instagram, all the time with questions, and it's just not something I can always answer. I have programs, I have different things that people can join where they can get the support they need and questions answered. But sometimes, I like to just be able to answer a question if I can. I might not be able to dive deep for you, but I'm always happy to try to answer questions if I can. But I think this is a great way for people to get questions answered. And I can sit here and like elaborate and really give you a proper response, not just some quick, crappy response on Instagram. Because to be honest, on Instagram, I don't like to spend a lot of time on there. I like to go in there, post something, or check my DMs if it's like something from someone in my program, or it's like a friend that I'm chatting with. I kind of go to those first, and I don't like to sit there and like constantly answer questions. And I'm just being honest, and I'm sure you don't always like to go on there and answer a million questions. It's just really because I'm actively trying to spend less time on Instagram. It's not you. It's not because you're asking me a question. It's literally like I get overwhelmed when I log into Instagram and there's like 20 people that are asking me questions when I don't want to spend time on Instagram. I've wasted enough time on that platform. So anyway, my friends, I love you so much. I'm going to create a form where you can ask me questions for the podcast. And I think this needs to be like a recurring thing. I thought this was so fun. And I just really enjoyed doing this episode. So thank you, Carrie. You're amazing. And again, you can follow Carrie at Sweary Carrie Designs on Instagram. And her website is www.swearycarrydesigns.com. Super easy to remember. All right, my friends, I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much.